Hello, my name is Kevin Strelekis. I'm going to be showing you how my computer science principles practice environment works. Well, at least how 1.0 works. So anyways, let's get this open. All right. The way it works, it is a very general little practice test, practice test viewer, that I use at the beginning of a unit. This unit on cybercrime was 2 weeks long, and here were the two quizzes that I gave them. Let's see, first one, cybercrime specific, was, and I'll expand this so it's easier to see. It gives a little blurb, a little example using one of our vocabulary words, and asks, hey, what happens? These are the same four answers for each question that we will see. Now, if we download a virus, your computer's infected. All right, so as you can see, we get a point, and we know we're on problem 2 of 5. Now, there's another vocabulary word, encryption. Not necessarily a cybercrime itself, but very, very tied to cybersecurity in general. Alright, so encryption makes data difficult to read. Our next question was we received a game, and it contained a Trojan horse being the vocabulary word. So it says, okay, well, what is the result of a Trojan horse? Well, it's not necessarily any of these three, but let's pretend it was. Well, pretend that I thought it was. I would answer one. I'd find out that my score is subtracted by 1, which would bring down their point total. And I'm just going to go through the rest of these because I want to show the much more important part. I'm also going to go ahead and get more of these wrong. I do want you to see the very special feature about this one that I feel was kind of missing from other practice tests that I could do. Or at least it made it easier to handle rather than a pen and paper test, and go much more quickly. Alright, phishing scam is credit cards. Alright, so with that, this little CSPPE file is produced using the name of the student, based on what they gave me, and a unique code representing what time it was taken at. This helps me identify that it's actually theirs. Now, if we were to actually open up the file, we'll see it's just a lot of encrypted stuff. Some of it unencrypted, but this unencrypted stuff is also stored here, encrypted. So in order to actually read it, I built this little checker, and since I use a similar software for my computer science A class, I had to make it work for 2 different types of files that would be produced. So load a new report, I'll select that one, and the nice thing about it is I actually could select multiple files, and it works. I'm just going to do this one, since I only have the one. And so let me open that up. Here is the result of it, produced just now, this report file, principles report file. And if I put it into this without word wrap, you can see that we have, actually I'm going to go and put that into an Excel document to make it much easier to read. So here's me copying and pasting it in here, adding wrap text, and there we go. All right. Now, here's where I was saying that it has something a little easier than maybe a pen or paper test, or maybe how a lot of other digital resources do it. Mine is very easy to see where students have their errors. These 2 questions. The questions are randomized for every student, just because I always try to randomize as much stuff as possible on tests, on practices, everything. So, but it does connect what question and their score. I know that student, that's missing the T, that's just an error in the program I have to fix at some point. Anyways, I know that the question about the Trojan horse, they got it on the 2nd attempt, and on the question about the DDoS attack, they got it on the 4th. This allows me to see where their weaker areas are. Where their weaker areas are, right here. And where their stronger areas are. And, well, I feel like that's really been helpful for actually using these kind of practice tests, because it does show progress. At the end of the unit, we use albert.io and vocabulary test to go ahead and track their progress. These practices themselves are based both on the practices that I build, anyway, are based both on AP, the AP approved, the College Board approved syllabus from code.org and from the albert.io questions online. Here's the other practice test they did at that time, where I had a few more questions, but again, it was a total of 14 multiple choice questions done on the computer at the beginning of class, and I was able to get the students through it in about 15 to 20 minutes, which means we didn't spend the whole day on some kind of practice test, and instead did get to begin going right into cybercrime, which was a very interesting unit, because crime is always going to be very, very interesting. And if you exit out of it early, it won't make the CSPPE file, but just to say that we did see both files. This is what the actual file looks like. Uses a format that I've produced, though I have not encrypted yet. I'll do that next. But yeah, that's my tool for practice tests.